Okay, something that me, my friend White here, and most of y'all can agree on is that a nice haircut can make or break a person. I started cutting this guy and a few other guys' hair about a year ago, sometime last year, and I think I've gotten better at it a little bit. And I've only tried one type of haircut, which is like a buzz cut with a little bit of a fade in it, and I think that with more experience and more time, I'll do more stuff with it. But right now, I'm just kind of doing that. Today, I'll be showing you guys the equipment you will need and the steps you will need to take to give someone a solid buzz cut. So let's get down to it. All right. They don't call me that. I just did that. All right, equipment. Main clippers is the first thing. There, that's those right there, the big guys. The second thing you need is guards, which just give the appropriate length for what type of haircut you want. Third thing is an edger, and that's to clean up the sides and back. And then the fourth thing is broom and towel, that's to clean up free stuff. All right, now the next step is cutting the hair. Usually takes me like 15 or 20 minutes, so it's gonna be some record time stuff here.
Okay.
Did it make you nervous the first time you did it?
A little bit, but these guys steady hand.
All right, start with the one blade, the highest blade that you use. My longtime barber Jack, who owns Jack Barbershop in Durham, told me starting out with the highest blade is the best way to go because you could go too high or low on the fade if you use a lower blade and then mess up the whole haircut, and that's just not good. All right, I start at the back and work like my way up the head. Like you don't want to start up here because that's just, I don't know. This is my personal way of doing it. There's other ways of doing it, so I think it's going to take longer than I thought. Alright. We kind of already cut his hair a little bit just so this wouldn't take very long. Around the ears is the trickiest part. We usually have music, so we're in your bathroom right now. Alright. And if I'm not looking, like, when you just make a noise, so no.
Okay.
And then when you get to the top here, I like starting from the front and going back. I think that like gets everything that you need to get. Oh, there it is. Have some fun with it. Yeah. You gotta go over it a lot of times because, I mean, like these aren't like the nicest clippers you can get. Like they're not like barbershop status. So, I mean, you could have like stragglers that you miss, and then like I don't think the person would want you to give them a haircut anymore. I think we're good for the most part. I get forceful with it because he's my friend. But I don't know how those guys like barely touch you when they do it. Like I gotta like hold on to the head and everything. How you feeling? Good?
Feel good.
Good. All right. So now that we're done giving the one blade, we're gonna switch to the no guard. And do the same thing, start from the ground up, start from the bat. The only difference is now you gotta pick like a line. I personally just pick a line around his head and kind of just like go with it, just to keep it even. But I'm sure there's other ways of doing that. I'm not licensed into this. And when you're trying to get the back, there's like this weird part of people's heads. It's like a little hole sort of thing, and that's kind of hard to get. So you gotta tell them to lean forward and really get that part good.
Right.
Alright, make sure you keep that line, that imaginary line, pretty even around his head. If I'm done doing the line, like you up and show everything. Let's leave it.
You're going to cut his next, right?
Not like a monk or anything. Yeah. Let me get up. Oh, not yet, actually.
I'm just gonna lean to the side.
Yeah. All right, now, yeah, there's like the line I'm going, and goes all the way around, sort of thing. All right. All right, so now this part is where I'm gonna start fading it in. So what I do is there's this little knob right here on the side, and if you watch the blade, like it goes up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it. But I call that like a half. So it's like I gave him a 1, and then I gave him a 0. Now I'm gonna give him like a 0.5, and you can do that with like any length. I came up with that. I don't know if that's a real thing, but it works. So what I do now is I pick about like half an inch or a few centimeters and just kind of go like this around it, and it usually fades it in pretty good. So we're gonna try it. Hopefully it'll work out today. This is the hardest part, I think, because it's just, if it doesn't look good, then like your whole haircut just is a failure pretty much. Alright, that's good. And it looks better when they get out of the shower and like wash off all the, so if you're like, wow, this kid kind of sucks at this, it's not that bad. Alright, so there's that show. See, now it's kind of more blended in, sort of thing. Alright. Now the edging. This isn't hard for, because I put like a zero blade on, so there's not really any hair back here to edge. There's a little bit, but you just want to make sure it's even on both sides. And just, you can see like his natural line of where you need to shave it. And you just kind of follow that line and go around. You can either block it or round it off. I usually block while it's off. But like I said, this is a zero, so it doesn't really matter. And you just want to make sure you get around the ears good. And you just trim up the sideburns if you add any. So that's kind of not there, and you can kind of go around here and clean that up a little bit. Like that. And there you go. And you can use a straight razor too, that makes it cleaner. Alrighty, well, there you go, my friend. Now there's a lot of hair, I'm gonna clean it up. But I'm glad I got to show you guys what tools you need and what steps to take to give somebody a solid buzz cut. And hopefully